Are you in sales and closing sales has been a struggle? You've been engaging prospects, having meetings, but for some reason, you're not able to take it to the end of the conversation, which means money in the bank, meaning sales closed. I'm going to show you some simple things you need to do, some simple checklists you need to have to guide you while you engage prospects so that you can possibly anticipate what the challenges could be, then you can get rid of them, which would help the clients make decisions to close sales faster. My name is Iyore. I've trained thousands of salespeople across several countries, including Nigeria, Ghana, USA, UAE, Rwanda. I'm an author of several books and resources on sales, and I'm featured on a lot of media platforms to talk about successful selling. I work in an organization that was going to target to sell to 20 high net worth individuals, and I was able to bring the 21 high net worth individuals to the organization in a single month. I also participated in a sales competition where I won, and I was sent for the World Cup annual expense paid trip. I moved to another organization where I was able to double my portfolio by 500% in just 11 months. I'm CEO of Advantage, and our specialties in Salesforce management. This means work with sales teams, partnering with CEOs and team leads to help them optimize results and get sales results faster. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go right in. Closing sales faster. Now, how fast you close the sale will be based on two things. Number one, it will be based on your competence. It will be first based on your competence. How competent are you as a salesperson? Number two, if I get number two, now, how competent are you as a salesperson? I tell salespeople everywhere. When you're starting out, or at any point, in fact, you must make sure that as much as possible, your presentation is the same every time. Your sales speech should be the same every time. It is not the same every time because the prospects are not different. It is the same every time because you are still training and practicing for the perfect pitch. There's what we call the perfect pitch. It is a pitch that always works. Now, the perfect pitch is not just content. The perfect pitch would have a blend of mannerisms. That means your tone of voice, your body language. It will have a blend of the systematic communication of value. Whatever you're communicating, it is arranged in the right order. Now, for you to get to this point, it's not just going to be by you sitting and writing on the paper and planning and memorizing things. Memorizing is part of it, but it has to be by constantly engaging prospects. Someone rightly said that nobody can teach you how to sell. They can only tell you their own style. This means that when you engage prospects long enough and go for enough meetings, you will find your own unique style that works to help people move to the close. Now, your unique style may not necessarily be something that's totally different from what I'm sharing with you or from the things you've read. It may just be some slight tweaks which suits you based on your target audience, based on the type of products you're selling. So, two things that can make you close sales faster. The two major factors. Number one, you as a salesperson, your skills. Number two, the prospects. The prospect. Now, number one has more weight than number two. The cases where it's a prospect is just because possibly this person cannot afford to buy your product or service, or this person is not in your target audience. And this takes me to my first point when it comes to closing sales faster. I've talked to you about the two things that hinder you right now, or the two most important factors, you and the prospects, right? And let me just give some clarity. So when I say this thing, some people say things like, Iyore, what do you mean? I don't agree with you. You can't tell me that I should sell to everybody the same way all the time. And this is what I always say. Bruce Lee says, I'm not afraid of the man that has done 1,000 kicks. I'm only afraid of the man that has done one kick 1,000 times. This means the man who has done 1,000 kicks, if any of the kicks hits me, I can survive. But the man who has done one kick 1,000 times, if that kick hits, chances are the game is over. So you want to build some level of competence. If you now come across a prospect who you feel, I can't sell the same way I've been selling all the time, you would have had a foundation upon which you can bend. Right? Imagine a tree. If a tree is in its roots and there's a heavy wind, or a plant in its root and there's heavy wind, it just bends. It doesn't leave the roots and find itself in the river or find itself in the bush. It just stays there, but it just bends. That's how you sell. So you're firm on your methodology, but the moment you meet a prospect and you notice that there needs to be a slight tweak, you tweak slightly, but you must have a foundation, an established way you used to sell. I remember going through a material, and this salesman was talking about how he was struggling in sales, and he went to meet the top selling sales guy in his office, and he said, please, what do I need to do to sell? This guy had been working hard, going for meetings, doing everything he needs to do, starts out early, close leads, but he wasn't selling successfully. So he went to meet his colleague and he says, what do I need to do to sell? And the guy says, okay, let me see your sales presentation. He said he didn't even know there was anything like a sales presentation. And it was like, what? What is he talking about? Okay, let me see yours first. And the guy showed him a sales presentation. A sales presentation is a series of planned questions you ask. Your questions are already planned, written. You run through them in a systematic order. You have testimonials you will share at some point in your presentation. There are things you will say at some point in your presentation. It just walks you through a pre-planned script to engage your prospects so that all the hindrances to the sale are anticipated and taken out of the way. Now, how would you know all the hindrances to the sale? It will only happen if you've been having meetings consistently. If you've been engaging prospects consistently, you observe a trend. You will see the point where people always take a step back. People always have issues in making decisions. When you know what these issues are, you can tweak your presentation, perfect it, so that it becomes very solid. So the first point to close sales faster, number one, be sure you're selling to the right person. Choose your target audience. Choose your battles carefully. Are there lawyers that have never lost a case? Yes, because they chose their cases carefully. Are there doctors who have never lost a patient? Yes, because they chose their patients carefully. My point is that choose your prospects carefully. Choose your target audience. Where is the money? The people who can afford to buy this product or service, where are they most likely? What do I offer? Who exactly most likely needs this product or service? When you find your target audience and you describe your target audience carefully, now I don't want you to just say things like when we talk about these points, choosing your target audience. There are people who they just feel like it's just one of those things. I used to feel that way before. When I started this sales profession, I used to come across materials. I would say, choose your target audience, identify your target markets. But in my mind, I just felt, what's the next step? Until I realized that this number one step was the most important. Because there's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is that part of the brain that helps you identify what's most important to you. So, for example, you want to buy a brand new car. Everywhere you go, you start to see that car. You want to buy a new phone. Everywhere you go, you start to see that phone. It's not because that phone became more in the economy. It's because the brain practices what we call planned blindness, intentional blindness. It takes your mind off every other thing that's not important to you and helps you see the things that are most important to you. And the reason why the brain is structured like this is because God sets you up so that all your body parts, your brain, your senses are targeted at helping you win and succeed. So any goal you set, the brain automatically aligns with you and says, see, let me help you take you on that journey. And you start to see those opportunities everywhere you go. In the same way, when you choose your target audience and say, you know what, I want to start to sell this to these prospects or to this type of people, the brain aligns with you and helps you on that journey. So do this exercise once and for all, like I did my once and for all. I just said to myself, see, this is my target audience, and I described my ideal customer. I described him in detail. I realized that everywhere I go, I started to see this person. For example, imagine if in your avatar, you said, my avatar attends XYZ church. My avatar drives XYZ car. My avatar lives in XYZ location. My avatar has XYZ number of children. Are you aware that everywhere you see kids, you possibly think your avatar is there? Everywhere you see a certain type of car, your mind will go to that avatar. Everywhere you see that church, your mind will go to that avatar. Everywhere you think about that location, or you see people who live in that location, your mind will go to that avatar. Do you see that now? So you'll find out that your brain your tentacles will be so spread out to possibly find this person. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you are not too far from this person. Somebody says, Iyore, but I've been selling for a while. Why do I still need to do this? Well, it will enhance your sales, to make your closing faster. Just look through your records and find out. The last 5 people who have bought from you, the last 10 people who bought from you, what do these people have in common? Because when we say choose your target audience, we are also saying, where do your prospects gather? What do they have in common? So the last 10, 15 people who bought from you, what do they have in common? If you look at what they have in common, you will observe that you have a target audience that you can leverage. Someone reached out to me a few years ago, and he said, Iyore, I have a particular product which you spray on the skin, and I've been trying to sell this product. I said, what's it for? He said, mosquito repellent. I said, mosquito repellent, and you spray it on the skin? I said, what's the smell like? He said, it smells very good. I said, well, in my mind, I felt like, well, you will say it's good because it's yours, but I wasn't so sure. Why would I want to spray something on my skin. Anyway, I asked him, and he had been struggling to sell the products. I said, you know what? Has anybody bought this product from you? He says, yes, people have bought. I said, fantastic. The fact that people bought from you, see, the reason people bought from you is more important than the fact that they bought from you. So go and find out why they bought from you. And this guy went on the phone and started calling him and said, oh, hope you're enjoying the mosquito repellent. Why did you buy it, by the way? He says, well, he gave his reasons. By the time he was done engaging all the people who had bought, at least quite a number, he discovered they were saying something similar. And that just guided him on how he was going to be pitching his products going forward. So you see, you see why I said you must pitch consistently the same way over a period. Because that's where you have data. You have facts to perfect your pitch and have something that you can use to close sales every time. So after you've chosen your target audience and you're showing you're selling to the right person, the second point is have a great offer. When I say great offer, I'm just saying whatever product it is that you're offering, make sure that you position it in a way that the value is far more than the price. It becomes a no-brainer for the person to just go ahead and do business with you. Reposition. See, if you reposition it this way, you'll find out that the prospect will feel, I don't want to miss opportunity. So constantly think of how you can stack value. Think of what the things you can do. I remember I was working in a financial institution. And for most financial institutions, imagine we're all selling the same thing. Even when your organization comes up with a new initiative or new products, the competitors, they too readjust and come up with those initiatives. So how do you not differentiate yourself from the competitors? I remember I was in a meeting. There's a place called Iyore here in Lagos. I was there and we were having a meeting with the prospects. And while we were engaging her, I'll never forget, when I was done presenting everything we had to offer on paper, based on what our organization had provided to us, I knew that if I had ended it there, there's no difference between me and the next person. The battle is not brand versus brand. The battle is salesperson versus salesperson. If our salespeople are better than their salespeople, our results will be better than their results. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what I added? I gave her an offer. I said, madam, are you aware that if you decide to do business with me, see, I moved it from the company now to me. Let's do business with me. I'm someone who, if you call me at any time, I'll pick your calls. Do you know what my clients have said about me? I told her some success stories as it tied to me. So in a sense, I won't forget, lady says, when we're done filling the form, lady says, she was telling my colleague, she says, I'm interested, but I want him to be the one to manage my account, to manage my accounts. She pointed at me, I want him. You see, because I gave her an offer. What I'm telling you now is that when you're presenting your products, don't just present it and end it with everything the company has told you. But think creatively. What else can I say to these clients that I can offer or that I can do that would enhance and make the experience better? If you are relentless and you think about it creatively, you'll find simple things you can do. Do you know that, for example, as simple as I remember I was doing some work for an insurance company, and I'm going to close with this because of time. Working with this insurance company, there's something someone said. He said, sir, what you said is very true. Just trying to drive home a point. And the guy says, what you said is very true. That he actually went to have a meeting with the clients. And when he got there, he realized that the staff of this company, they were not properly dressed. On the Monday morning, he saw the way everyone was looking disorganized. So he had to meet him and he said, sir, he's selling insurance. So his focus was the insurance policy. But he gave him an offer. He said, sir, why are your people dressed like this? Why don't you, he now give him some directions. At the end of the day, they settled on the fact that their people should start to all wear a certain t-shirts. Just so that they can all brand and all look in a decent way. Remember, it's not like it's a sales company. It's an operations organization. I don't remember what they were into, but the point is that by the time he was done with them, he gets back to the office a few weeks later. They were all dressed with the proper standard. The reception was more organized. Everything was neater. So you could tell that he added value beyond the products. And the prospect did business with him in a big way. So my point is that make an offer. And an offer doesn't necessarily mean he's giving something that he's paying for per se. It's just the fact that, hey, what I'm offering, what else can I lay on it? What else can I add on it? With creativity that will make the person decide to do business with me. So you can also see it as, how else can I go beyond what I do? Whatever is not my business that is around this client's business, but can affect my business, must become my business, right? Because in the context of this insurance guy, if this guy's business is more structured and organized, he can make more money. And if he can make more money, it can affect how much he can get as premium or how much more insurance policies he can get from this man. So put these things to work this week, and you can watch yourself closing sales faster this week. So tomorrow we'll continue on this series on closing sales faster. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't shared this video, share this video with someone. Don't forget to like as well. And if you haven't watched this next video, please watch the next video. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe here. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Talk to you soon, and have a blessed week.